Welcome guys to this week's episode of Ask Me Anything, and we have a few special scenarios here because number one, we have a professional singer, Aimee, who's going to be doing all of the questions today. Second thing, we are here in Kenya, if you haven't realized, this kind of like some mud cement hut thing that's behind us. And finally, being able to do this slightly different because we don't have the reception to be able to take your calls this week. Aimee's gonna channel the questions from you guys out of herself to actually ask while she's volunteering out here. We've been having a few conversations, and I just thought, hey, why not take the next 10-15 minutes to shed some light on everything that's happening out here and everything that's happening with you guys, and see where we go with the inspiration, motivation. And I'm gonna let her fire away.
Well, the first thing I kind of want to ask is that, do you think it's important for everyone to experience this kind of life? Because everyone's just locked up in their little boxes and they don't seem to realise what actually goes on the other side of the world.
I have been saying this for so many years. I think it is crucial that everybody comes here at least once in their lifetime. And actually, what we found is with a lot of volunteers is that after the first time they come out here, they kind of want to come back again and again, because it's just, I think it's shocking. I mean, you can see it's shocking to believe that this actually exists on the other side of the world when we're in our comfortable surroundings and everything every day. Yeah, so it's definitely a life changer. It was a life changer for me anyway.
And what do you think, like, the most important thing that someone should take away from it coming out here? Because like, you could come out here and it all depends on your perspective about how you see it, but what do you think is the most important thing that people take away from it?
There's too many. And by the way, guys, if you guys haven't realized, we might need to subtitle this because she's speaking Irish right now. Yeah, so I think there's too many things. I mean, what people will probably, what I found with a lot of people, they come here, the first thing they do with normal people is that they will complain about all the surroundings and the toilets and all the facilities and say it's, how can we stay here, and then the more kind of a little bit more conscious or personally developed people will kind of see it and just go, wow, these kids are happy. And I don't know if you found that. It's like they have so much fun, and yet they don't have the iPads that the kids have these days in our world, And so I think perspective is probably the first thing that most people will find. Yeah.
And how do you think people can accept it if they're not from a spiritual background? How can they learn to just become acceptant of what is, because that's just not something that we're really taught?
I think, sometimes when you got no choice, it will go there's two ways it will go. First way is that they will hate it, but that will also reflect on their life outside. They probably hate life anyway. When things go wrong, they'll probably all focus on the negative and they'll hate everything about it. So that's one scenario. They'll come here, they'll say, I never want to go there again. But it's most likely people like that, in their everyday life, they're probably complainers, and they probably always see the worst parts of life. And then there's a second type of people who, because there's no choice, and I've seen it when people come out here. Actually, Todd was one of them. When he first came out here, he was only, I think, 17 at the time. Came out to volunteer, and then he was like, "I need my cup of tea." And it's just like, well, what are you talking about? Like, this, it's just drink water, No, I'm grumpy without my cup of tea, It's like that, and then it's like you'll see them coming in, and it's kind of like, so they'll like shake a kid's hand, and they'll hand sanitizer, and then wash here, wash there, and it's like, oh, there's mud on me, and then wash. Day 1, day 2, day 3 passes by, and they kind of like that, and then by like day 5 and day 6, they're rolling around in the mud, and then they're like, they understand what is. I mean, here we have something called Kenya time. But you haven't fully experienced it yet. Like, you gotta have patience. You gotta wait. And so sometimes when people don't have the choice, like I said, they either go one way and say, I hate it, I'm never gonna go there or do that again, or they learn how to love it. Meaning they see the different perspective. They start seeing the kids smiling. which is enough really. You can just sit there. I could sit there
Yeah.
and just watch the kids smile and just be like, wow, that's my day, you know? And so it's perspective. And it's the same thing with life, you know?
That's actually what I was going to ask. Do you think it's that life is all about that as well? Is that if you're in the worst of situations, that life is all about how you look at it, whether you look at it from eyes of love or hate? And,
Yeah.
And does that, for example, there's people I know who would probably love this experience when they're here, but they would never go because they've got too much fear in it, and they always see it as like, no, but why should I experience that? Well, why should I have to? But I'm quite comfortable sitting in where I am right now. But I think that applies to everything in life. But how did they get out of that box when they're so like below? I know I always say like from 10 to -10 of awareness. Like, how do they get out of there when they're stuck in unawareness?
Some people will never, and I think that's the reality. In the past, I used to want to change the world. I used to want to change everybody. You know, everybody come, you gotta come to Kenya, and try to persuade them and everything. And it's the same with personal development, right? You go to an event and then you learn all this positivity. You want to go out and you want to tell all your friends and family, hey, just think positive, and your reality will be beautiful. Law of attraction, you know. And people are like, what are you talking about? And so,
do you think you can change the world through that? Through law of attraction, manifestation.
The brutal reality, this is getting quite deep, because this was a question I asked my master a few years ago. The brutal reality is that we can't change the world to change to positive. And that's quite sad for a lot of people, because a lot of people think, then what am I doing? Why am I trying so hard? What's the point in everything? But if we understand this, there's no up without down. There's no left without right. World of duality, world of polarity. So it's like you can't have happiness if you're not sad. What does that mean? It means everything exists at the same time for existence to even happen. You got positive, you got negative, you got proton, neutron. You know, all of these things is there. This is science. This is life. And what it means is that we do this. Why do we do this? We do this because we choose that we want to do the positive. So at the end of the day, what are we doing? We're playing a balancing act, which to a lot of people is very depressing, because it's like, you're saying my purpose in life is just to be one side of the balance and that's it, and like, you know, I can't change the world. We can change the people we inspire, but there will always be the negative. So I think we just choose which part, and it just so happens that you've chosen to play the positive and look at life in a positive way. Some other people choose a different way. I'm sure you know people who choose the other way. And same thing with me. I chose that I want to play this way too.
Okay. And what if you wanted to change someone's life on a smaller scale, not change the world, but change individuals' lives to make something better for them or for a group of people? Is that possible?
I think the chickens are having a fight right now.
That question, do they?
The chickens are proving to us that there's always negativity, so they're just having a fight. And I think that it's a journey. People need to go through. Have you tried changing someone before?
Yes.
So what happens when you try changing someone who really doesn't want to be changed?
It gets worse. They go the opposite way. They try to pull away. They try to
And how do you feel as a result of it?
just a bit let down that you can't help someone, so you feel a little bit empty for that reason, or a little bit frustrated because you can't make change, because even though it comes from a place of love, they don't see it as a place of love.
It's a journey. So that will always be one phase of it. When we learn something, we want to teach somebody else about it. It's almost like somebody, and we have these situations all the time. Somebody goes to watch a movie. They're really, really excited. Let's say it's the new X-Men. And let's say you're just not interested in the X-Men. But they watched it and they were just like, wow. And they come over and they keep trying to convince you to watch X-Men, where you're just like, I don't like things like that, you know? There's nothing they can do. You will probably never go to watch the movie. So, and even when you do, you probably won't enjoy it as well, because in your mind, you already put all the hate towards that type of movie, you know? And so it's the same. Like, when we come to the realization, our purpose in this world is not to try and change other people. Our purpose in this world is to be the best version of ourselves. We be the change. This is what people say, right? We be the change. And when we are the change, naturally, the people who are to be inspired and influenced by you, they will be. And so, don't need to try. Too much work, really. Life is enough work by itself. We don't need to add more stress and more worries and more work to ourselves.
Okay, nice.
Nice. And I think because of time, we're going to have to wrap up there. I just want to say a big thank you to Aimee.
Thank you.
And also, I don't know, have you got YouTube channel or anything?
I do, yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to put now she's going to be committed to it. She has a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful voice. We always get her to sing at our events. So I'm going to put her channel on the link below, on the link in the description. Make sure to follow her channel. Now she's going to get her ass moving to get the uploads there as well. And another thing as well, for any of you who have been following the journey over the past few days, you'll know that we're here for around 10-11 days. So any of you who would be kind enough to make any donation, I always say there's no such thing as a small donation. All you do is just click on the link as well. It'll be one of the first ones in the description. So just click on it and just do something, whether it's $5, $10, $15, it doesn't matter, you know. Some people have $100, give that, $1,000, give that, but some people only have $5, give that. Because I believe what you put out, you'll always get back. And if we all come together as one, we can really change some lives out here. So finally, if you enjoyed this video, please do, or you got anything out of it, please do hit the thumbs up, hit the like button. Also, comment below. Let us know your thoughts, your views on all of the things that we discussed today. And finally, if you're new to this channel, remember to hit that subscribe button and the notifications button next to it. Because this year, I'm dedicated to making daily videos. Oh, you guys gotta see this sunset. It's so beautiful. Can we spin? Is it possible to spin and show them a sunset? Oh. If you're new to this channel, remember to hit that subscribe button and the notifications button next to it, because this year I'm dedicated to making daily videos to hold you accountable to make it your best year yet. But for now, guys, we're going to be signing out. Ciao. Bye from me, bye from Aimee. Ciao.